Okay, tell me, what kind of reenactors are you? What are you portraying?
World War II, Fallschirmjäger, German paratroopers.
They were known for, they took the island in Crete. It was a airborne operation. It was all airborne with a little bit of air support. And so that was their big thing. Another thing, early in the war, the Fallschirmjäger took a fort, Evenemal, in Belgium, on the Belgian border. They landed on gliders. So about 30 German paratroopers captured a garrison of 1,700 Belgian men. And so that was their claim to fame. But they could be found in Russia, in North Africa, and then they did fight in Normandy.
So why did you choose the Germans and this particular group?
Just growing up, I was kind of drawn to the German things. It's hard to explain. Drive a Volkswagen, restoring a Volkswagen. Erwin Rommel, the Desert Fox.
Right.
And so it was a friend of a friend said, you should come out and play with us. We do Fallschirmjäger. I was like, what's Fallschirmjäger? I said, oh, it's German airborne or paratroopers.
And how long have you been doing it, you guys?
I've been doing it for 11 years.
And you?
I've been doing it 5 now, I think about 5. So, but being, you know, as an American, you always grow up, you know, you always think the greatest generation, and, you know, you're always on a winning team and all that. So it's interesting to take a step back. Not only is it fun to be the bad guy and never die and do that, but you have a full picture of the whole war and how everybody was consumed in it, and it gives you that. It actually is living history in itself. So you get each side, you know, you really see what both sides were fighting for each one. So it all puts it all together. So it's interesting to put yourself, like I said, step back and see how that is, and you learn so much more history of how everything was all put together and how we really, the whole world changed because of this.
I always ask this question, I always get the same answer when I talk to German reenactors. Are you ever like, wish you could have won, you know, Fockerville or something?
Well,
I mean, just in the battle here,
right.
not in reality.
We have, we do a reenactment in Rockville, Illinois, West. And so we do a public battle, and the crowd, very much like this, of 1,000 people will watch, and they vote through applause. So we won one battle. So we get to ride into the end of the battle on tanks. There was tanks there and stuff. So that was.
But you're not in it to win or lose.
No.
It's all about camaraderie and sportsmanship.
Right.
And education.
And education, right? So yeah, look at it for that part. So, yeah.
So how the two of you, how long is it since you've been coming to Conneaut?
3rd or 4th? Third.
It all goes together. I think maybe 4 or 5 years.
Well,
from
5, yeah, because they canceled the one from COVID.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, it all starts kind of going.
So this is a good one to go to?
Yeah, it's a nice one. Yeah, it's like I said, it'll be packed here. It's fun.
And everybody, it's nice here. The town opens up, so it's really nice.
Convenient. It's not
Appreciative, and it's a good event.
It's not too bad. You know, it's kind of a drive.
How much does it cost to become a reenactor? I mean, how much money you put into it?
Depends on how far you want to go. So,
yeah.
Cheap, but yeah, I mean, it could literally be thousands. Your uniforms get you kind of good, but you start collecting stuff and stuff, you know. So it's not. But you don't want to use anything original because you know, that's pretty keepsakes.
Yeah, right.
So, you know,
So the gun, the rifle, the Mauser, the K98. What do they run? You'd be lucky to find one for $650.
I got $250. I mean, you know, so it's all just like I said, it's kind of one. But the more you get, like, as we want a CJ 750, you know, so as you want more stuff, the more cost.
Right.
So the uniform would be maybe $100.
Okay.
You have to have different uniforms for different theaters. So we have tropical uniforms, that orange color.
All the crap you gotta buy.
The Eastern Front, you have to have winter camouflage. You have to have winter uniforms.
You look like you've got winter. Are you warm?
Yeah, this is what they wore in Normandy.
They had wools in there, so we had to go.
In June they wore that, huh?
Well, it's Europe, so it's
Right.
So Europe's a little bit cooler.
Right. You want to show some of your stuff? Or?
I got my K98.
Okay.
This is a drink water can made of aluminum. To complain that the aluminum should have been saved for more planes.
Okay.
Can you get it?
Yeah.
This is original. There's different bits and pieces that are still original that we can use, feel comfortable using.
Show them your onesie. $98.
Okay, talk about that.
Well, the reason I personally bought it is because the guy I knew lied. He said this was like a Stalingrad capture, but it's 1944. So, but it's a, you can see where they got the import marks right here. But still, the Swastika Eagles hasn't been scratched off. So for out here, because you see you shove it in the dirt and all the things, so for $250 it was well worth. But if I had a nice one that had a, oh yeah, it'd be priceless. You wouldn't want to come out here and destroy them like that. So, but yeah, it's not. So this, you got MP40s and stuff like that, but you know, most of the time, you know, he'll show you that onesie there.
But his, again, the Germans went into war with a bolt action rifle. You have to, so you load eight rounds in the magazine on the stripper clip. And so they have 8 shots. So when you shoot, you gotta, you know, and then you have to shoot, and then you have to eject it.
For each shot, or is that for?
For each shot. And then go back.
No wonder the Germans lost the war.
Right, so the Americans had the M1 Garand, you know, which is a semi-automatic that held 8 rounds, so I mean, it's just it's
But
pretty
a good
interesting.
German with a good shot, one shot.
Here's a jump schmuck. When you jump out of the plane, this goes over everything you had. I mean, all of this, all your gear and everything, because once you get out into the slipstream after you leave the plane, it could get ripped off of you. So this goes over everything you had.
Including your rifle,
Now, the rifle and the weapons are a little bit different. So the German paratrooper, they were all issued, we don't have any right now, a pistol, a sidearm. So they jumped with that, but they didn't jump with the rifles. There was a knife, there's a gravity knife they use to cut themselves as they get hung up in a tree or out of lines.
It's kind of neat.
Whoa, yeah.
Now, over there, they put everything, so there's a drop container. There's a metal one there,
Right.
and there's a wooden one there. They would put the rifles in everything, so their provisions, water, food, first aid, weapons, they would go in there, and they would take it out of the, they would push it out of the plane first.
But they're only jumping at like 300 feet. You're not in the air very long.
So they don't have to look very long after they land to find
They're
it.
down as quick as they jump out.
So that's why each one was issued a pistol, because they had to fight their way to that container. And once the British and the figured it out, it's pretty easy to set up overlapping fields of fire, you know, as they're trying to get to their containers. So.
Huh.
The longer you're suspended in air, the worse it is. So that's why when you jump, they were just as quick.
Right near a target.
Yeah,
Right.
So you want to, like
And
in
also-
Crete, they were targets when they came down for so they,
And on Crete, the British knew they were coming. They had broken the codes, Ultra, Enigma, and so the British knew that they were coming.
There's a movie.
Yep. Yep.
yeah. So you don't want to be a suspended target sitting there going.
And so,
it would not be fun.
And they didn't have a reserve chute. They only had one parachute.
Good hobby. Like a lot of good people actually. That's kind of the fun part of it.
People from all over the country and all over the planet.
And you get together, compare notes, and learn something.
And also, if somebody's getting out of the hobby, they typically will sell their stuff off, so you can pick up stuff reasonable.
So you go over and check out what's for sale.
Yes.
Yeah. See if there's stuff you need and snag it. So yeah, that's not bad. But yeah, when people, like I said, leave the hobby, if they'll tell you before they sell everything. So sometimes